Jack Frost is on the case and under pressure. David Jason stars in A Touch of Frost in half an hour. First on ITV1, how and why did this man gatecrash Prince William's 21st?
Tonight, the exclusive story of the most shocking royal break-in ever.
William looks over and smiles his mother's smile, and then I kiss him on the cheek.
Up close and personal with Prince William.
Does the policeman ask for any identification?
No.
Did the policeman say to you, well, sir, have you got your party invitation?
No, he didn't.
Did he ask your name?
No.
The man who could have destroyed the monarchy.
If things had gone wrong, if a bomb had been used, the whole lot were lying dead, we would already have Prince Edward as the king.
Good evening. It's an unbelievable story. Prince William's 21st birthday party is in full swing, the speeches have begun, and suddenly an uninvited guest takes to the microphone. He's dressed as Osama bin Laden, and incredibly, nobody stops him embracing the future heir to the throne. Now questions are being asked in Parliament about this right royal fiasco. An inquiry has been launched, and we are told heads will roll. But what really happened on that extraordinary evening? In the Tonight exclusive, the intruder Aaron Barshak tells Martin Bashir how he pulled off his palace coup.
Saturday afternoon, and the party of the year is just beginning. 3 generations of the royal family, 300 guests, all gathering for the 21st birthday of the Queen's grandson, Prince William. And the theme, Out of Africa.
This was going to be a sensational party, the party of the decade. Prince William had chosen the theme. Everyone was going to be dressed up. There was even speculation about whether the Queen would get dressed up in fancy dress. And nobody could have been looking forward to it more than Prince William.
But there would be one uninvited guest that night. This man, Aaron Barshak, and the way in which he penetrated to the heart of this very private event will change royal security forever. As almost every significant member of the royal family gathered here to celebrate Prince William's 21st birthday, Aaron Barshak also came to Windsor. He fully expected to find the castle impenetrable to anybody without a specially designed invitation. Instead, what happened was the most extraordinary breach of royal security since Michael Fagan broke into Buckingham Palace 20 years ago.
I spoke. Stop congestion charging! This is being hijacked by the comedy terrorists!
Aaron Barshak has made a habit of publicity-seeking stunts. Last Saturday, he decided his latest target would be Prince William's 21st birthday party. When you decided to go, was it simply your view that you'd stand outside the castle?
That's it, yeah. I mean, these things you can never plan. I just thought, well, let's see what's happening down there. So I go down there, and I see all the paparazzi here, there, and everywhere. There are people driving up, and I think, well, that's good enough to sort of just in the middle of the road, just in front of all these cameras and TV cameras. Fine, let's go for that.
Happy birthday! Out of Africa, I'm out of this world! Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the air!
So they're laughing at you.
They're laughing at me.
Eventually you draw the show to a close. What do you do?
I just kept on walking down and flashing the merkin to people, and a policeman comes over. He goes, "There are children here. I don't want to arrest you, but if you keep on doing that, this and that and the other." Okay, fine. I've made my point. You know, I've done the publicity.
With his act finished, the comedy terrorist changes out of costume and goes for a drink, fully intending to return home. But strolling back to the station, the temptation to continue his stunt inside the castle walls proves too strong to resist.
As I'm walking here, I'd looked over at the slopes when I came up, and I thought, now, don't be silly. But then when I came through here and there was nobody standing here, even though it says private road, authorised parking only, I thought, well, what's the worst? Trespassing. Let's just go down there, let's wander in there, you know, and see what we can do.
As he walks through the arch, Aaron Barshak has no inkling where his journey will eventually take him.
First of all, I think I better get myself hidden. Walk up the slopes and hide in the amidst the pine tree. Then I think, okay, we'll climb. And I start to climb. It's very thin. It's like two pine stalks stuck together, each this width. So I'm climbing up, putting my feet on the branches, thin branches, and trying to climb up the wall at the same time. And then I fall. And I'm lucky because I land astride a branch which just stops here. You know.
As you're climbing, are you thinking, all I want to do is get into the grounds, or are you thinking, I actually want to get into the party itself?
No. I'd never in a million years dreamed that I'd achieve what I achieved. It turns into actually just a struggle between me and the wall. I just want to climb the wall then. I'm swinging now on the top of the pine tree, feeling like a fairy on Christmas tree. And it's very springy pine. And I'm swinging backwards and forwards, backward and forward, beneath the wall, going... and then jump. Well, not jump, but basically spring off, pull myself over onto the wall.
You get over the first wall.
Yeah.
You expect to see sentries,
Yeah.
armed guards.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Well, no, I don't see anything, but I think I look up there. There's a light, and I think, oh, they're probably patrolling the inside there. So I've got to be very quiet, very careful.
Safely over the wall, Aaron Barshak changes back into his costume and resumes his assault on Prince William's party.
I follow the wall, until I hit the end of it, and there's a garden gate there. Something as if it was out of the secret garden, you know, just a rickety old garden gate about, well, 6 foot high. I think about opening the garden gate. I decide not to, because I think, no, it'll definitely set off an alarm.
The Home Office now say it's likely Aaron Barshak did trip a sensor on the wall. But one police source says with guests roaming all over the castle, more than 100 alarms went off in 2 hours. So many sensors were being tripped that the alarms, it seems, were being ignored. You still haven't seen a single police officer, a contractor,
nobody.
member of catering staff?
I'm getting worried about the noise I'm making, breaking twigs, thinking, oh God, I hope they think it's just an animal.
But you haven't seen
No,
anybody.
I've not seen anybody anyway.
Slowly but surely, Barshak is closing in on the royal party.
Now I'm on the North Terrace. I'm just behind 2 big vans. I'm thinking, basically, the next step I take, I'm going to get caught. It's going to be my last.
You see the backs of these vehicles?
Yeah.
What do you do next?
Just start walking up the North Terrace.
And how are you behaving?
Just, by this time, I'm behaving... It's settling into me. Maybe I should behave like I'm drunk.
Aaron Barshak brazenly walks straight up to the van he's seen and finds a contractor sitting there.
Hello. I said, hello, I'm Cinder Al-Qaeda. He said, are you lost? I said, yes, I am. He said, would you like me to, have you lost your way? Would you like me to walk you back in? Yes, would you, please? And he said, fine, okay. And, you know, starts to walk me back in, and, you know, by this time I'm whistling through my head, because it's just turning out like some more surreal war movie ever.
When you had this conversation with
Yeah.
this man who said he was looking after the generators,
Yeah.
the power, did he ask you for any identification?
No, not at all.
Did he ask you your name?
No. So,
He simply asked you if you were lost?
yeah, and then offered to walk me back. So we walk back, and I'm just chatting, keeping up the part of the drunk party goer, and walk in, walk round, and then he says, I just have to check you in with the police.
Aaron Barshak was led by the contractor to a police checkpoint manned by just a single policeman. The game is surely up.
The contractor says to the policeman sitting at the desk, this gentleman has trying to get back to the party, lost his way. And the policeman sort of sitting there, looks up and goes, oh, well, OK, you go a bit left, you know, and because I've never been there before, I don't know what he's talking about. And then the contractor pipes up and says, do you want me to take him there? To which the policeman says, yeah, all right.
Does the policeman ask for any identification?
None. That's what I've told you what happened.
Did the policeman say to you, well, sir, have you got your party invitation?
No, he didn't.
Did he ask your name?
No. Didn't. I thought he'd have a list there. That's what I thought, because normally they do.
What did you think of his response? Do you think he was just basically disinterested? He was relaxed, he didn't want to be bothered by you? What did you think?
I think he just thought that I was one of the party goers, you know? Because I think actually being dressed so outrageously helped.
Incredibly, Barshak has now been waved through into the so-called secure cordon. He's given no name and shown no ID. So the contractor takes you from the desk.
Yeah.
Where does he take you?
He takes me round, then into the state rooms. Nobody here either. And then about 10 yards into the state rooms, he says, I'll have to leave you now, because I can't go any further. Whereas I can, of course, you know.
Can you see anybody else
no, there's
in
nobody.
these staterooms?
No,
so there's no police officer there?
Nobody. The first time I see somebody, I walk up the halls, up these stairs, and then head into the bar, big bar, just before the sort of big assembly room where William is giving his speech.
The police have admitted that it's only now, just as Aaron Barshak is actually entering Prince William's party, that he's picked up for the first time on CCTV.
I walk past the bar, and there are people standing around there, but I'm just walking briskly, with confidence. As I'm approaching the doors, I can hear somebody speaking, and I think, God, that sounds vaguely like... I open the door, William is stood there, giving his speech.
It's a fateful moment. Barshak is about to gatecrash the biggest royal party for years. Aaron Barshak, the comedy terrorist, is standing at the entrance of Prince William's 21st birthday party.
I just entered and I heard sort of, it's Osama, a few titters, and William looks over and, you know, smiles his mother's smile and just starts to giggle. By this time, now I'm in hijack mode. I'm not caring anything about where the Queen is, don't look at security, you know.
You stand how far from him?
Next to him. I just stand next to him, basically. And I start singing, you know, a beard on my cheek would look quite fundamental. Get a big laugh from that. He's laughing by now. Then, you know, pull up the dress, say, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the heir apparent. And then say, you know, kiss him on the cheek. One cheek, not both, as the paper's printed. Kiss him on one cheek. And say,
does he at this point recognise that?
No, everybody.
You haven't been invited.
It's working seamlessly. He thinks somebody else has hired it. They think he's hired it. You know, I just look like part of the entertainment. Nobody's worked out a damn thing.
I initially thought that Prince William would have known that Aaron Barshak on stage with him was not part of the act, because he had choreographed it, he knew what was going to happen, and he'd done the whole scenario. And when I put this to somebody at St James's Palace, the answer was he thought he knew, but then when he saw this chap come up on stage, William went, oh my God, Naughty Harry's got involved in this, he's put this person up to it.
After his stunt, Barshak simply leaves the stage and heads for the bar. He still hasn't been intercepted. As you finished your performance and walked towards the bar, Were you able to catch a glimpse of anybody during that?
No. I was just thinking, I've done it, get out. You've publicised it.
You didn't see the Prince of Wales?
No.
You didn't see the Queen?
No. To be honest, it was just like another bar mitzvah. It really was. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was people sat in front, rich people dressed up, this and that, the other.
The Queen is furious. She cannot believe that somebody got into her own home and did this. I think the Duke of Edinburgh would take it equally angrily, and Prince Charles. It was almost beyond their comprehension that this could have happened.
When he gets to the bar, Barshak is finally rumbled.
I walk off through the doors to a rapturous applause, basically, and head to the bar and say, champagne, darling, champagne. And that's when somebody says to me, who are you? I say, I'm the entertainment. He goes, and who hired you? I said, well, who do you think? Daddy. He goes, sorry? Who do you think? Daddy.
You were carrying a bag for some of the time that you...
Yeah.
Could you have fitted a bomb into that bag?
Of course. You could have easily fitted a bomb into it. And nobody checked. Even if I was a guest, why am I carrying a bag? Surely that should set off alarm bells.
The whole caboodle was there, the whole line of succession, well, the front six, was at Windsor Castle at this party and potentially could have been blown up. I mean, I'll list them. You've got the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, he's first in line, then you've got Prince William, then you've got Prince Harry, then you have the Duke of York and the two daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. They're the first of the six in line of succession. The seventh in line is, of course, Prince Edward. He wasn't there, he was in Canada, and if things had gone wrong, if a bomb had been used, the whole lot were lying dead, we would already have Prince Edward as the king.
Aaron Barshak is escorted from the party and arrested. He spends the night in police cells. The first his family know of his high-profile escapades is the next morning.
We looked at the BBC CFAX at 9 o'clock, and there was a line saying that somebody had gate-crashed Prince William's party. We began to fear the worst.
Fred Barshak immediately calls his son, but he's still in police custody, so Mr. Barshak has to leave a message.
Somebody, they described him on the radio as a nutter, jumped onto the stage and grabbed Prince William. I hope to God it wasn't you.
Aaron Barshak has severely embarrassed Scotland Yard, the Home Office and the Palace. Over the next few days, senior politicians and policemen cannot apologise to the Queen often enough.
Mr. Barshak's actions have exposed an appalling failure in the security at Windsor Castle, which simply should not have happened.
The Royalty Protection Department, of which, of course, makes up part of the Metropolitan Police, is devastated by what took place at Windsor Castle over the weekend.
The Commissioner has tendered apologies to the royal family for what we regard as an appalling breach of security.
On a scale, how serious was this lapse of security?
Well, it's clearly something which should never have been allowed to happen. I mean, the fortunate thing is that it didn't lead to a terrible event. That's, if you like, the good news. The bad news is that it demonstrated that there was a serious weakness in the security system. We need to understand what those weaknesses are, and to take steps to make sure that it can't happen in the future.
Aaron Barshak tells us that he climbed over 3 walls. As an ordinary member of the public, I would have assumed that there are sensors. Are there sensors at Windsor Castle?
Well, I don't know the details of the security arrangements at Windsor Castle, and certainly wouldn't be explaining them in detail if I did. But the reality is, I think most members of the public would assume that there would be sensors, CCTV, everything deployed appropriately. What we need to understand is what went wrong with perimeter security and why Barshak was able to climb the 3 walls and why he wasn't apprehended at that point.
When you first climbed the wall of the school, did you expect to for this to be the first step, which would eventually lead you next to the heir to the throne?
I I never in a million years expected to be able to get that far. I expected something like Mission Impossible or Entrapment or, Clint Eastwood-style bodyguards and paras all over the place with dogs. Absolutely not one guard, not one dog.
Now a fundamental review of royal protection is underway, and change seems certain.
I don't trust the police. I think it will happen again. I think it's interesting at the moment that Prince Charles, I know he's felt this way for some time, but he's now pushing for the army to look after them, security-wise. Not a bad idea.
And despite all the fuss, Aaron Barshak says he has no regrets.
Do you really think, though, that it's a responsible thing to be doing at this time, given the level of sensitivity about terrorism?
It's not about responsibility. It was to publicise my show.
Do you not worry that the fact that you were able to do what you did has, in a sense, sown the seed of the idea in the minds of people who might be much more dangerous than you are?
I think they had this idea before me. If anything, they won't try it now because they'll know that security is going to be tightened up 10 million times.
You don't think that what you did was irresponsible?
No, I think what I did was a laugh.
But Barshak's father is not so proud of his son's actions.
At that magic moment when he decided to scale those walls, I would have been better pleased if something had said to him, don't do that. Not just because it's dangerous, but because, I have a feeling for that party. It's somebody else's show. It's somebody else's party. And I think you must respect that. The fact that he didn't mean any harm, well, that's not enough in my book. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Martin Bashir reporting on Aaron Barshak, who was fortunately only a comedy terrorist. And there's more about the implications of his palace coup at our website at itv.com. Coming up on Monday's edition of Tonight, how this 9-year-old girl was bullied until she wanted to die.
I had to let her kick me and hit me.
And how long did you do that for?
2 years.
The shocking rise in girl bullies.
I ended up pinning her to the floor and hit a chair across her head. She weren't seriously hurt. She ended up going home with a headache.
But that's all we have time for this evening. So from all of us here, goodbye and thank you for joining us.
Well, next, Jack's on the case and under pressure. David Jason stars in a feature-length episode of A Touch of Frost. The ITV News is later at 10:30.